Okay, else than this part I need to, let's select the reference again. What I need to do is to create the other part of the rim. I will take a look to one reference. Later I will going to convert this to editable poly just to avoid this weird bug, because it not makes sense. But okay, so what I will going to do, I will going to create a line that start from the interior of the wheel. So what I need is just to draw something like this. The one line here, another, later it comes another level. This is just an approximation, remember. This is something like this. Okay, so like you can see, what I'm drawing here is just a line that go straight, diagonal, straight, diagonal, straight, and then this comes this other part. So let's see how it looks. So having this section, like it said, is not a precise one. I will going to use a lathe modifier. The lathe modifier will going to make a revolution, or yeah, it's called a revolution 360 degrees, creating surfaces based on the axis and on the shapes. So what I need this right now is just adjust the edge, the shape, and I will going to adjust the orientation, and like you can see, this is what I have. Okay, the number of sides, I can adjust them. So right now I just will going to group all these parts. I will going to group them. Let's put this aside. Okay, so I will going to attach to the center. Let's see if this center, okay. Well, this is going to, wow, this is extremely weird. Let's open this. I think it's working a little bit better this way. Okay, whatever. So let's adjust this manually, because yeah, I cannot count with this object, because it doesn't representing right exactly as I want. I will going to modify the axis to increase the size of the wheel. As you can see, it will be something like this. Okay, I think it's okay this way. Okay. So comparing these, for example, this wheel, this point of view from here, and the reference I have a couple of issues in my line. Let's see, I have this part, maybe it's bigger, so I will put everything more up. The diagonal part, it's longer, so I will increase this part. It looks good. This another diagonal part maybe needs to be longer. And finally, the inner circle, it's more or less something like this. I will not going to create this detail because it's quite small, and the Batman logo is even blocking it to be visible, so I will not going to create it. Okay, so right now I have this. I can even continue creating the Batman logo from this part. I will do it right now. So in the side view, I will going to remove this. I will going to refine just to continue a creation, or I can just click insert to continue the creation of the wheel. So for example, in this case, I oops, let me continue here, and something like here. Right now I'm drawing the Batman logo, something like this. Let's enable this part. And okay, this is something I miss, is because every time I draw over a line, it is moving to the coordinates, to the 0 0 coordinates. So it's, this line was drawing but really far. So I will going to put in the same place of the other line, and let's verify how it's looking. When things like this happen, is because I cross the middle, I cross, and the shape flip itself. So it's just a matter of adjust exactly the place when it is closing. So something like this. I can go a little bit, something like this. Okay, so it's okay right now. I have my wheel. I can separate these. Maybe later I will going to separate these in another two different geometries to apply easier the materials. But right now they are looking and working as I expect. Like you can see here, the interior of the wheels have a couple of holes. Like you can see here, they have holes. Those holes I will going to create them with Boolean operation. When I will going to create them, maybe I will going to split this part. So let's see. For the other side, like I said before, it's quite complex for me to understand or to see or yeah, or define exactly how it will going to work. So what I will going to do here, using the same line I have here, I can, for example, I can make a mirror. So I will going to clone and make a mirror, and this is what I'm going to do without this Batman logo, for example. So all this part I will going to remove, and let's see how it looks with the wheel. Yeah, it's almost done. When you see this is inverted, like you can see here, you can select all the line, and just you can apply something called reverse. This will going to reverse the orientation of the line. So right now this is more or less what I want. This will going to be here. Okay, so let's make some adjustments. In this case I am far away to what I need, so I will going to select the vertices. Let me see if those are the right vertices. Yeah, they are. So I will going to just create, like I said before, I am not able to see how deep it is right now. So let's define a default basic deep. Based on main in this, for example, here I can see inside the interior of the wheel and a small value, so maybe something like this will be enough. So I think this will going to work. I'm not still sure about this part, so let's continue here creating something just to, I don't know, I will going to close this and I will create a solid shape. In a real vehicle this will going to be different, but I'm not sure here. Let me try something. I will create something like this. Let's be creative here. Okay, I will going to connect this particular line to this one. In case I want to make Boolean, I have to guarantee that all this geometry is solid, is a solid one. So I will going to detach this line to use it later. So in a different object. So for making this, I will going to clone this object. I will going to clone this object that you can see here. To clone the object, I have to press Ctrl V and clone as copy. And for this line, the cloned version, I only need this shape here, so I will going to select all the inverse with Ctrl I, and I will going to delete all the other part of the line. And in this case, I go to the original one with the selected. I will going to remove them. So that you can see here, I have two different parts. This one is one object, and the other line is this one I'm working right now. So let's see, right now I need to keep this in solid, so this is the only thing I will going to do. I will going to move this, and I will going to connect this vertex with this other. Let's put this into corner, and to be more precise, just align in the pressing Alt D to restrict the axis. And this is it. I have this solid geometry. I hope this works with the boolean. In some cases, when you use late and another modifiers, the geometry looks solid, but it's not solid, really solid. So maybe the boolean didn't work. So I think this is working right now. I'm going to save again because my wheel is almost done. So I will going to save before making the boolean operation. Okay. Right now I want to fix this particular issue. Like I mentioned before, this is a book related to redrawing the object, but yeah, it bothers me a lot. So a way to fix this particular issue is not quite normal, but the first time it happens to me. But to fix it, the only thing you have to do is you have to select all the parts and add above a modifier, an editable mesh modifier or editable poly modifier. This will going to collapse all the modifiers below. So like you can see here, there's no issue right now, but just to have this in mind. Okay, so let's continue with the wheel. Like you can see here, this wheel have a couple of holes, and if you see in the image here, the back part it's have the holes in this part, and then it have some structure to support or give more strength to the wheel. This part maybe is not important because it will not going to be quite visible, but maybe I have enough time to do it. So let's start with the holes. So for that, I will going to create a cylinder. Let's create one cylinder and then clone in a radial way. So this is my cylinder. This is the one I will going to use to create the. Let's move it a little bit. I will adjust maybe the line. So this, for example, I will going to move a little bit more. Something like this. Okay, so my cylinder, I will going to increase the sides, and I will verify that I am trespassing from both sides of the object. So I have to clone this cylinder in a radial way, so I can use the radial, I can use the external, and then I can pick the object I will going to use as an external point of rotation. But like you can see, the point of rotation is not placed in the center because the original object, this one, doesn't have the pivot in the center. So first I will select this object, I will going to affect the pivot, and I will go into center, and now I can repeat the process. And like you can see, I'm using an external pivot point using this object, and right now you can see that I can rotate the object this way. So I will clone the object using shift and rotate, I don't know, maybe 45 degrees, and I will clone as instance around 5. I didn't count how many of those they are. Let me take a look. So 1 2 3 4 2 4 5. They should be 5, I think. 5 or 6, I know, sure. So let's rotate 60 degrees 5 times, and this is it. This is more or less, I think they are 6 or 5. Here you can see what I mentioned before about the structure. I think it's 1 2 3 4 5. I think it's 6 or only 5 element. 2 3 4 5. Let me, I will take a look. Yeah, I think it's, so let's try again. Let's rotate, not 60. Okay, so this is it, 5 elements. I hope this is the right amount of cylinders to perforate my object. Okay, so right now I will going to select my object and make a Boolean like before. That's all. Okay, so right now I have these holes, this perforation right now. I think they are quite similar to what I have here. Let me verify in this another image I have here. Yeah, there are small holes here. Yeah, I think it's going to work. So I will leave these elements like this. The other thing I can do right now to create, for example, the other lines that come here, maybe even I can use the lines created by the object, but in this case I will try to use an end gun with 5 sides. If I create this element, for example, and I center to the object, this will going to have the point, exactly the points I need for my my rim, something like this. So I can clone this object. I will convert the object to editable spline. I will select all the spline and I will just scale down, and let me try to center something. Okay, so right now I have this element. The thing I want to do is just create a line from one point to another, just something like this. This is the things I really need. I just want to have 5 lines, perfect oriented. I don't really need this one or this another one. I just need these lines, and having these lines, let me take a look. If I verify this is something like, I don't know, I will not going to create anything precise, but I think using a sweep, for example, with the C channel, I can have something like I want. I need to rotate the angle 90 degrees. Let me invert. And reduce the. So this is more or less what I want to do it. As you can see here, it's just 5 lines, and with this particular shape. I will going to adjust the width, the thickness, everything. I reduce the corner radius, yeah, just to have something simple than this. And I will put this here. I will not going to make a Boolean operation. I just keep this way. I will take a look if this is okay. Right now it's in the center, and I will move back. Okay. I think the detail is enough for what I want. I will go into scale to keep the. Let me see how it looks. Yeah, I think this looks good. Maybe I will going to adjust the lines. I mean, I will going to refine the lines here in this part, and I'm going to remove the rest. Okay, so select the vertices, and that's it. I can create even here another cylinder to look this a little bit better. I'll create a tube. And I will going to align it with this object in the center. I am pressing Alt A to align, and that's all. I will increase my sides and reduce the overall, and this is more or less what I want. I think it's good enough. Okay, so again I will going to select all of them, and I will going to apply the same color. Let me apply this one. I will select all of them and apply the same color. Okay, so you can see what I have done is just created the Boolean operation and the back part of the wheel. This is not necessary, but maybe in some cases it could be visible. So this is it. My wheel is done.